morning. This is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters, CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community, and the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to Season 3 and episode number 393 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Yeah. Today, recording day is Thursday, May 30th, 2024, and it is a very sunny day here at the Beaver Lodge again, as you can tell by the fact that I am pink yet again, and realizing that maybe wearing red, if I'm already going to be pink, maybe wasn't the most camera-savvy choice.
It's kind of funny.
But, I mean, it is because I am wearing my Maple Leaf tennis. It is because... Sorry, I left the mic there. It is because I am wearing my Maple Leaf tennis shirt. So, you know, I guess I can be forgiven a little extra pink if I have a maple leaf on my heart.
Sure.
See, I could be running for the Conservative Party right now. I wear my Constitution in my pocket right above my heart.
Well, you do have a membership, don't you?
No. I had a 1 year. It lapsed.
Oh, it was 1 year. Okay.
Oh, yes. And here, interesting thing. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned. You know, I say I'm getting diverted from my intro here, so remind me to finish thanking the sponsors and stuff when we do this. But yes, I was a member of the Conservative Party of Canada for 1 year because the people here have arrived more recently to the show. When the Conservative leadership race was going on, I was encouraging people to buy a membership because party politics is where it's at. And if you didn't want to have Pierre Poilievre as an option, well, then the best thing to do was to have bought a membership to the leadership race and make sure that he didn't win.
Didn't work out that way, but
that's where our power actually is.
Yeah, apparently a lot of those votes were from other parts of the world, I'm told.
Some allegedly, someone else who is having an election right now may have helped with this. Allegedly, someone. Wink. So yeah, but I did buy one for a year because, you know, I was encouraging everybody else to do it, so it would have been kind of awkward if I didn't do it myself, right? Somebody asked me, says, well, did you do it? I said, well, no. Well, you just spent like 2 months telling us. So I did it. I set my $10, and yes, that means I had to give $10, but I mean $10 for like the option of vote directly. Listen, Pierre's not in my electoral district, so I don't get to vote for him. So I literally got to vote, not him. That was worth $10. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. No, because some wouldn't on principle. right? Because I'm not giving $10 to that organization. It's like, okay. For me, I thought it was worth it. And, if enough people did it, $10 to stop them. I mean, it would take a lot of $10 though, not just mine. But yeah, I'm going to blow that up a little bit. Now, so now this is an interesting use of Canadians' personal data. I bought a 1-year membership to the Conservative Party in Canada during the year of the leadership race so that I could vote for the party leader. At no point after the purchase of my membership did I have contact with the party. Once my membership lapsed and after, I have had no contact with the party. I am no longer a member. Today, this was texted to me. Why am I still on the party list if I am no longer a member? So, from 613-412-4583, a Pierre Polyev lawn sign on a beautiful green lawn in a very suburban neighborhood, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And it says,
get your sign, order your Conservative Party lawn sign today. Douglas, have you ordered your blue Conservative Party election lawn sign yet? The sign at your home shows our momentum. When an election is called, we'll deliver it and set it up.
Needless to say, there was no reply. But I was like, oh, you still have my number, even though I'm not a member anymore, and you still think you now have permission to use it. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because like me not volunteering or not responding when you said my membership was up, I guess wasn't interpreted also as I probably don't want to sign because the person I voted for in the race didn't win, and I can't support this one.
Mm.
Like, I really can't support this one. Well, I'm jealous they didn't offer to send me a sign. Well, my last name is earlier on in the alphabet than yours, so wait a few days.
You might get the offer, yes.
They might be doing it in small batches. So yeah, just a little interesting tidbit since you mentioned it. A big thank you goes to our podcast founding sponsors, the Pepper Master, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvin Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. By the way, I checked on our friends at the Pepper Master, and everything is okay over there for them with the tornado hit. So everybody is fine and doing well. So that makes us very happy. And Mr. Grizzly, how's your mental health today?
I'm still working towards the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really all I can say. I'm exhausted today. I didn't sleep well, and I have a very long day ahead of me. I have to be out of here at 8 on the button today. So yeah.
All right.
I have a very long day ahead of me, and I'm tired. And somehow I got to find the energy to do it. So I think I'll grab a Red Bull on the way in because I'm going to need it. Because coffee is not going to be enough this morning.
Okay. Well, I have some news that might make you happy.
What's that, sir?
Well, your eager beaver was a very eager and busy beaver over the past few days. And I sent a few letters to a few people about our mental health walk.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because I had a conversation with the office of Senator Brazeau and a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person named Debbie Sims. Hi, Debbie, if you're watching, who's been just a delight to work with. And we had, obviously established a bit of a relationship when we had arranged for the interview of the senator. So, right. I mean, this time, it's not a first meeting or first experience working together. And the first one was very positive. So, obviously we're always very happy to be chatting with each other, email exchange led to a phone exchange, which was just delightful, and then some information sent to us about 4 people with whom their office had been talking to, who also um, have a focus on mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, particularly men and boys, and some a little bit more broad. But gave us the contacts of these 4 people, and I reached out to all 4 of them, wrote them letters, and heard from one yesterday. And I'm not going to say who it is yet because I do not necessarily have permission, but I
Okay.
sent out the letter.
But you can tell me in the private chat.
I could tell you in the chat, yes. Wow, amazing. What do we need to make this happen?
Oh, impressive. Cool.
So I don't know what it is I put in the letter, but for wow, amazing. What do we need to make this happen?
Yeah,
Read the response. Yay. And I think he will be very happy.
Mm.
It's so grassroots that it's let's just say I don't think we could have landed better.
Okay.
I don't think we could have landed better.
You got to let me in on the secret here, man.
Yes, I will let you in on the secret. Okay, but I'm going to do that when I throw to you to chat, because that's the only way I'll be able to show it to you.
Okay.
I'll show it to you on the I'll put it to you on the share screen, but just don't share it.
I won't share it.
You'll be able to see it. Okay.
No problem.
All right. Sorry, it's a little behind the scenes thing, and I'm sorry I'm showing a lot of lag, but I haven't responded to that. I saw that when I woke up first this morning. So I don't want to start sharing public information about other people without their consent first. So I'm not trying to be it. I won't be able to
see it though. Even if you give it to me on the share screen, I won't be able to see it. It just shows up as like a tiny little stamp.
Okay, then I'll just forward it to you then.
Yeah.
All right, kids and cubs. Let's see.
How about them Edmonton Oilers?
Yes.
Series up.
Yes.
Yeah,
5-2. 5-2, 5 unanswered goals too, after going down 2-0 very, very quickly in the first period. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but
they got fired up last night. So
yeah, somebody flipped a switch. But that's the stuff, man. Woohoo! 2-2 going to Edmonton.
And what is the? I gotta find out. The Rangers, I think, are behind right now, aren't they?
To be totally honest, I have not been following that one, and I should, because my friend Michael loves the Rangers. I've been so focused on Edmonton and then, walk, that I forgot to follow is it Panthers and Rangers, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, Panthers and Rangers. So I think they're down. So game 4. I think they're down 2 games. They lost in overtime. They lost in overtime on the 28th, which was
they're tied at 2 right now.
Yeah. Oh, is it 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're both series are tied up. So we're looking at 6 games minimum then.
All right. Right. So yeah, good thing. And so that's very exciting. The Edmonton Oilers. I'm hoping that they do, because it's been a long time since there's been a Canadian team in the final. And yes, Kit Linda, right on time, just exactly what I was going to say. And how about our first professional women hockey champions? Minnesota makes history. You heard it here first. I didn't get to tune into the game from the beginning, but I did get there somewhere mid-second period and watched it. It was great. Loved it. Watched the whole ceremony with the trophy, and everybody lifting it up and giving it a kiss and all that good stuff. So it was just absolutely fantastic. And I think the final game 5, of course, was a sellout. I think it was just under 7,000 people, and for the entire last series, the 5 matches together, I think attendance was just about 38,000 for all 5 matches. So it's doing well. it's really doing well, especially since it was all in the United States, and none of the matches were in Canada in the final. So that's yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, excited about the women's basketball team too. I know, I hear you, Mashadika. There's something else as well. So I was just smiling the entire time. I really was. And you know what? It was a shutout. It was 3-0, and the shots were like 44-17.
Oh wow,
So
that's lopsided ice.
yeah, that it was 3-0, but she made 41 saves. I'm just
Yeah, that's yeah. I know it sounds.
That's a productive night.
That's the thing. It's like it sounds when you 3-0. Oh man, 41 saves. Oh,
and one of them was an empty netter.
Yeah, so 2 goals.
Yeah, 41. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I watched this
I'd
movie.
be tired, man.
I watched this movie not too long ago, and it was about the American Samoa football team and how they had the most lopsided loss in international play ever. 37-0. 37-0 against Australia. 37 or 41, I can't remember. And they're like, oh, they had 37 goals. Yeah, but he stopped 97 shots. So it's like, whoa, hang on a second. You made 97 saves? I know they scored on you 37 times, but still 91 or 97. Like the save percentage is really, really high when you consider how big the net is, right? To be able to make that many stops is really an example of a very skilled goalkeeper. Because that's a big net to cover, man.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, oh my word. She worked hard. They kept her very busy. But yeah, it was the period and a half that I saw was absolutely fantastic. And it looks like the financial footing is going to be solid for the next year to keep growing. And if all the players remain focused on the goal of getting a league, firmly rooted, and it seems that they are, just by the way that they did their collective agreement and all that kind of stuff. This league is going somewhere. It really is. And speaking of women's sports, since we're talking about them, also announced recently for Canada is a professional women's soccer league.
Yes, and of course there's a WNBA team coming to Toronto as well. So it's like
yes,
it's an explosion of women's professional sports, which is, I think, a very pleasant thing to be able to say.
Mm-hmm. So I believe that it's called Project 8. And they had Diane Matheson, who's the CEO and the co-founder, and of course, a 2-time Olympic bronze medalist for Team Canada. They had a press conference saying that the new name of Project 8 will be called the Northern Super League, which is set to begin its season in the spring of 2025. It will make its debut in 6 founding clubs from key markets across the country. Ottawa and Montreal were the 2 latest to be added, joining previously announced clubs in Halifax, Toronto, Calgary, and Vancouver. And the fact that Halifax is finally getting a professional sports team makes me happy.
Very, very happy.
Very happy. We are thrilled to announce this update to soccer fans across Canada as we take a big step towards our season opener in April 2025, Matheson said. After years without a professional women's domestic soccer league, the Northern Super League and its 6 founding clubs will fill a significant void in Canada and bring about meaningful change coast to coast.
Diana Matheson?
Yes.
Yes, I met her.
Yes, that's why I was wondering you didn't react the first time when I said it.
Yeah, I met her. She's lovely. And she basically scored the medal, the goal in the London Olympics that secured the bronze medal for Canada. So she's a little on the heroic side as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Each of the 6 clubs will be independently owned and operated. The Northern Super League will feature a 25-game regular season schedule, followed by playoffs and a national championship next fall. Quote, "We're proud to launch with a name that will instill pride in all those who play and love the game. With a brand that is fresh, we welcome all who want to be a part of this exciting moment in Canadian sports history," said Matheson. Further announcements regarding league executives, player signings, and detailed scheduling are expected in the weeks ahead. Inspiration for the league's brand comes from the vibrant Aurora Borealis, which influences the color palette, while the dynamic serpentine style font reflects team synergy on the field. The emblem's 4-pointed North Star symbolizes the league's strength, vision, and commitment to establishing itself as a guiding light in the realm of sports in Canada and beyond. And I will put it up here for you to see, Mr. Grizzly. Canada's newest women's professional soccer league will be called Northern Soccer League, and this is the logo.
Cool. Northern Super League. I like it. Very cool.
The NSL. Ba, 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 ba.
Well, I mean, it's a play on the old NASL, North American Soccer League, NSL, NHL, sort of blending it all together, right?
NFL.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of a subliminal way to trick you.
Yeah.
But, well, not trick you, but, it's a familiarity.
Yes, exactly.
Association is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody's trying to be tricked. It's just it's a play on words that will make it rings familiar.
So, yes. And NSL also, it's Northern Super League, but if people start calling it, the National Soccer League, it still applies.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
I just wanted to run this by you. I threw it in the feed there real quickly because I check once in a blue moon to see where we're sitting on FeedSpot for 40 best Canadian politics podcasts.
Oh, yes.
And because I haven't checked it in a while because, kind of a busy fella. So put it on the screen here. And, let's see here. Where are we now? Okay, 40 best Canadian politics podcasts. Number 1, Power and Politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to be expected, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
October 2020. Let's see. We'll move down here. The Bridge with Peter Mansbridge. No surprise there. I mean, come on.
No surprise there. He's great.
And he does a frequency 1 episode per day. And then look who's sitting there at number 3 still.
We're back at 3.
Yeah, back at 3. We're ahead of CBC News at Issue.
Yay! Because we were at 3, and then the last time I saw one, we went back down to 4, and now we're back at 3 again.
Yeah, we just got to get FeedSpot form. Okay, so it just says frequency 2 episodes per week because this is the audio only version of the podcast that they're talking about, and that's even though we do a show every day, they don't get posted every day for the audio version, and that is where that rating falls.
But I went to look at the because we saw that last time as well, and I went back to the very first one when they were still coming out, all the on daily, and they was still saying that. So I don't know what it is. It might just be something that's a little bit of incorrect information, but that's okay.
It's fine.
That's right. We're number 3 again.
I'll take it.
Again, don't know how we're doing it. Because I literally just called him up one day and said, "Hey, want to make a podcast?" I didn't even.
Here we are.
Didn't even really know him, but turns out to be a wonderful thing. And of course, I mean that's you guys, right, kids? Right?
Yeah. It's you guys doing it for us. I mean,
yes. Kid Jim says,
just an old hack that has a deep voice and a microphone.
Yeah. Kid Jim says, what needs to happen to get this going audio daily? I have to catch up on things. I just had don't this one is me. With the 3 shows happening at the same time, and then I fell sick for 2 weeks, and I'm still trying to catch up basically. So I'm now I think 7 shows behind, and hopefully, but I mean I was 11 shows behind at the beginning of the week, so I am catching up slowly but surely, but I'm eating the elephant one bite at a time.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Grizzly, I'm now able to send you the thing, and it'll give you a little idea of what it is.
Where are you sending it?
I sent it to your email.
Okay, cool.
And
cool. It just showed up on my phone there.
Yeah, if you get reaction at whatever, they're just let me know. All right. Now moving to other stuff
Holy
going on
shit.
here. Pardon?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
it was like, wow. I
Yeah.
don't know this person, but the organization I'm familiar with. So yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
no, it's not a member of parliament. Okay, just so
no,
everybody's aware of that.
no. It's an organization.
And
But
it's
yeah,
an organization that does really good works and is right in line with what we're trying to do. Well, we're right in line with that. You know what I mean? We're simpatico.
yes, exactly. We fit.
Yes.
We fit. Like this. Debbie did not steer us wrong.
No,
That's all I will say.
no, she did not.
All right. Yes. All right. Well, let's do it here. It's not about Canada, of course, the United States, because it's probably the big political story right
Yeah.
now. The jury is now deliberating. So, yes, in Ronald Rump roast, the first of what we hope will be 4 criminal trials. But, whether the other 3 happen, kind of decide on how people vote. So, I see Mr. Grizzly is frozen. I do not know. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay, good. So, this week, they came in and they had summations or what's closing arguments on the Tuesday. Monday was a holiday in the United States, was Memorial Day. And they went on for about 7 to 8 hours. The jury, I think everybody decided that even though it was going to take a long time, they wanted all of the summations to be done on the same day rather than taking a break and finish. So they put in a little extra time on that day.
Mhm.
Then they came in on Wednesday for final instructions. The jury consists of 7 men and 5 women. And Judge Brashan instructed them that a defendant can be held liable for the criminal acts of another person if the defendant basically asked or instructed or helped them to do so and did so intentionally. Because one of the defense's main arguments, other than, well, Michael Cohen's a liar and you can't trust him, but I mean, there are criminal cases all the time, mob cases, other cases where, the witnesses or to a crime that are there are also, criminals and unreliable. And we have processes with this, to go through that to vet information. You have corroboration. So, I mean, it would be the first trial in history where someone who doesn't have the most stellar reputation in the world is testifying against someone who also doesn't have the most stellar reputation in the world. So, but the other part of their defense was, well, Donald Trump didn't have anything to do with the production of these documents, these forged documents. Well, it's like, well, so all he did was sign them. Well, yeah. But I mean, if what Michael Cohen has been saying is that they were done at the order of and for the benefit of Donald J. Trump, the fact that Donald J. Trump didn't sit down at the computer and type the note out himself doesn't really matter. Right? So that's what the judge, but they had to make that instruction is that not that it is, but like this can be held liable. So you can't rule that out. Right. The other thing that the judge instructed is because the falsification of documents charge is a misdemeanor on its own. It becomes a felony when it is used to conceal or commit another crime. In this case, it could be one of 3 crimes. It could be the falsification of tax records, violating electoral law, finance law, by making a contribution that was way too much, and then falsification of other business documents. So he declared it as a legal expense when it was not. He declared it on his taxes, which was falsification of taxes, and then, it was $130,000 contribution to his campaign. And then, of course, there was a little more. So if you add that, which is illegal for one person to make. So he violated 3 laws. So the judge instructed that for each one of the 34 counts, you have to decide if he has violated one of these other laws. Now, you don't have to all be unanimous that you can decide it was the electoral law you think he violated or the other one. And it only has to be one of the 3, not all 3. So for any of the jurors, they could pick any one of the 3 and they don't have to be unanimous on the 3 to get to the point of whether or not it's a felony. But they all have to be unanimous on whether or not he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So they got 2 levels. Like, is it an actual felony? Like,
Right.
was this done to conceal
crime.
or commit another crime? And which one of the 3? Did he do it for at least one of these 3 for you? Yes. Okay. Now, beyond a reasonable doubt. So these 2 tests. So, and they had like a whole conference by the side, on Tuesday of last week, where both sides argued all of those things about what the instructions that the judge should be given. Now the judge has free rein to give whatever, but he takes, considers what's going on, and the judge will do what the judge will do with that one. But it's an opportunity to just clear out some things if the people have some concerns, and you can find a way to smooth some things over, because a lot of people sometimes try to say, well, you can't ask the people to consider that. It's like, yeah, I can. Right? You had one of Trump's witnesses, Robert Costello, was actually on the stand at one point, and he himself was a lawyer. And when he was like doing all this stuff, like talking back to the judge and giving him side eye and staring him down, the judge had to clear it, because at one point the judge told him that he should remove some remarks or whatnot like this, or did you just say that? And then the guy just turned around and looked at the stenographer and said, strike that. It was like the judge is going, dude, it's my courtroom. I tell the stenographer when to strike.
You don't.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
So this guy was on the stand, basically behaving as Trump would if he would on the stand performing for an audience of 1. I don't know. And he's a lawyer, so I don't know if he's going to have any consequences, because it's like the judge literally, he cleared the courtroom first. Cleared the jury away, but media and everyone was there. And then he cleared the courtroom.
Wow.
Totally. Like, this is like, are you staring me down right now?
You're not going to get away with that. I'm sorry.
I just...
Y'all barking up the wrong tree on that one, I think.
Oh, my word.
He's trying to intimidate him, basically. He's using a Trump mob boss tactic, if you will,
Right.
I'll just intimidate him.
I know. And that wasn't the first thing. The other thing that he did, Trump, over the course of this whole thing, is he had the gag order. So he wasn't allowed to say things. So
he said stuff anyway, because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't.
Oh yes, he said stuff like this. I mean, he got 10 charges of contempt.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to anybody. He never has. He never will.
But at the beginning, nobody was coming to his thing, and then one day he got mad, threw a little tantrum.
Well, Trumpy Wumpy didn't like what he wasn't. Didn't like that he wasn't getting the audience he wanted.
He didn't get the protests. He wasn't getting the support, right? And the court case wasn't going well, clearly. So he got mad and he stomped his little foot. Yes. And then there was a trickle, right? Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, or senator of Florida, or something like that. He went, and then a couple of people went. No, he was Florida. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of another Rick Scott.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you put this image up, Mr. Grizzly. And then eventually, remember when we showed that clip the other day of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett arguing? That meeting was supposed to happen earlier in the day, but it got delayed because a lot of them were in New York City doing this.
Right. Yeah, they're all
literally a rogues gallery. Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that guy has problems, man.
Now, all of them showed up in the blue suit, and there are other ones where they all have a shade of a red tie. They
Mm-hmm.
all showed up as mini Donald Trumps.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy here, Bob Good,
Who is that?
he's a guy who was trying to. He's the chair of the Freedom Caucus.
Mm-hmm.
Was trying to get Trump's endorsement, but wasn't all in on him at first, and then sort of turned at the last minute, said, "I'm all for Trump." Oh yeah, Trump didn't give him his endorsement. Showed up like a good little soldier.
Yeah, didn't work out for him.
Nope. Made an endorsement for the challenger.
Wow.
Yep. Trump said,
Well, you saw
McGuire, John McGuire, has my complete and total endorsement, MAGA 2024. He said something that Good was constantly attacking and fighting him until recently when he gave him a warm and loving endorsement, but really it was too late. The damage had been done.
Mm.
Oh man. So it's each one of his charges carries a maximum of 4 years and a $5,000 penalty. It's not clear. A lot of people say whether or not he would be incarcerated, or whether or not, if he was found guilty, he would be sentenced to probation or house arrest. Of course, he's probably going to appeal it the second it happens to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. However, and this is just pure speculation on my part, but Michael Cohen did go to jail.
Yes, he did. He did time.
He did go to jail. And if one does buy that these crimes were committed at the direction of and for the benefit of Donald J. Trump, would be rather illogical for Mr. Trump to not be sentenced for incarceration and for longer. I mean, he was the person who got all these people to do all these things
Mm-hmm.
so that he can keep his hands clean.
It's all just...
If the guy who typed up the papers go to jail, shouldn't the guy that said, hey, you type up the papers, go to jail? Especially if throughout the entire process he's shown such contempt that he's got 10 contempt charges going on with it, and a judge that looked at him and said, I will put you in jail. And who brought a witness onto the stand who rolled his eyes at him and so much so that he had to clear the court.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a mockery of the justice system.
And also said things about his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed, though, that Ivanka has never come to be by his side in the courtroom?
Mm-hmm.
She's shied away from the spotlight in the media now, all of a sudden. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is. Might it have to do with something with Chinese companies giving her licensing on... there's a whole bunch of nastiness in there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And was it was Eric Trump? I think it was. He was on TV and standing in front of the mics and saying like this, like, I'm proud to have stood by my father, blah blah blah, in the freezing cold courtroom. This, hearing people say bad things about him with a corrupt judge. It's like fuck, really?
Mm-hmm.
I was proud to be at his side every single day. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's like your father would cut you. I mean, just
You get tossed under the bus quickly. The only one he won't toss under the bus is Ivanka because he wants to date her.
Yeah, I think he still thinks he has a chance.
That is so icky. I can't even... He said that on was it The View? Was he on The View or a national talk show he was on? And he said, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. I'm like, please keep her away from him. That is so greasy, man. Like,
and Stormy Daniels testified that, before whatever happened, he told her that he reminded her of his daughter.
Yeah. Before he violated her. Yes.
Well, I would
You remind me of my daughter. Now let's have the relations.
Yeah.
That is not healthy. It's not healthy.
That is not healthy. Not at all.
That's bad in every possible imaginable way.
Here it is, Mr. Grizzly. This is the one I just like. I'm sitting there and I'm just like listening to this guy. I'm going, the such a performance for the audience of one.
Eric Trump. Okay, let's see. I'll just cue this up. Sure, we've got some volume. There we go. We got some volume. Open the volume, eh? I shall
open the volume. There.
I'm just proud of the toughest person I've ever met in my entire life for having the backbone and fortitude to go through this whole mess, as uncomfortable as it's been. And I'm proud to have stood there every single second by his side in that freezing cold courtroom against unthinkable odds and a corrupt judge and people making a lot of money and this political witch hunt. He's an inspiration to me every single day, and he'll be vindicated. Thank you very much. I'm just proud of the toughest person.
Your dad probably thinks you're a sucker, babe, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, have you heard what he said about the vets?
I
mean, I stood by his side, and I was like, you're still not going to get more than your brother in the will. Just pipe down. All this performative. Oh, my God. Anyway, so it seems that the jury deliberated for 4 hours yesterday after they got all the instructions. They had asked to see hear the testimony of Michael Cohen and David Pecker about Michael Cohen about the night that in 2015 where they all had the meeting where they kind of agreed that they were going to do this and get some clarification on some of the judge's instructions. So it could either come by fast, and a lot of people are saying that if it takes a longer time, then maybe it's because he has a better chance of being acquitted. However, this might be also a case. It seems that by all reports, the jury had been super attentive throughout the entire case, and that it could just be that the jury is so well aware of the historic significance of this case that they won't want to make sure that they are super extra duper careful and that they've considered absolutely everything before they release their verdict. So in this, so in this case, it taking a long time may not necessarily be a sign. And yes, Kid Toronto Dan, I did say David Pecker. That is actually literal is his name. And even when I'm using text to type and I'm saying David Pecker, it actually
we're all laughing.
It puts 6 stars instead of writing Pecker for me.
Because we're 12-year-old boys inside.
It also did it with Dyke. There was something about a flood, and it did it with Dyke as well.
So it confused it for a common
slur.
Both his name and that term, which is something that blocks water, were confused for common vernacular slurs.
Yes, that's where my text to type goes first.
Well, so
my text to type's got a dirty mind.
I wrote a message yesterday. I wrote something to somebody, and I realized I had a typo. So I responded. I said something equals the proper word, and then I put ducking autocorrect, and autocorrect corrected ducking to something else. I wanted it to say ducking autocorrect because that's funny.
Yes.
Like there's the joke, right?
Yes.
No, it autocorrected it to the other word.
Yes. For me, I was joking with someone. I says, I love you, mean it, running, ducking, like this. And the very first time my autocorrect changed ducking to the other one, was like kind of proud of it for a second. It's like, you remembered, but no, this time I really mean ducking. Oh man. Oh, geez. Very briefly, since we have to go, there's that whole news exploding with about David Parker. If you haven't listened to it yet, Kit James on his Blackballed had an episode with
I started to watch it. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. I've been so busy.
Yes, with David Parker and Marco Hugenboss. Marco Hugenboss was not what I expected. David Wallace, sorry. Yes, about David Parker.
Yes.
David Wallace and Marco Hugenboss. Marco Hugenboss was not what I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I have to say, clearly we don't have the same beliefs on certain things like this, but he was not what I was. But we do seem to have certain beliefs on other things.
Mm-hmm.
He believes that there are certain things that shouldn't be done, and there's so. But yeah, not what I was expected. Not loud, not boisterous, not and I actually found that the conversation was very, very informative. I learned a lot about Take Back Alberta that I did not know, and yeah. So,
I
good
recommend
job,
watching it. I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet because I was really busy yesterday. But if you have a chance to give it a watch, check out the latest Blackballed. It was informative.
But it really does look like we might be we might be at the end of David Parker as we know him right now. But I know that he's also looking to do Take Back Ontario, and there was a guy from BC who was running in a nomination who pulled out, and I saw David Parker immediately reach out to him and go, hey, like this, being a politician is overrated. Why don't you want to try being an organizer? If you're interested, call me. Like this. So he's trying to reach his tentacle. So either I would say we might be seeing the end of David Parker, and we might be because there's some stuff with Elections Alberta and all that kind of stuff. But I've seen enough horror movies in my lifetime to know that Freddy, Jason, and Michael pop up somewhere for one last scare. So, word on the tweet is that he's fled Alberta.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So maybe there was a reason he was trying to build some stuff in Ontario and BC.
Could very well be, yeah.
Don't know.
Well, he's burning all his bridges fast, so.
Yeah, but pay attention to it. It's really, 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 really informative. All right. Do we have a show, Mr. Weasley?
We do indeed. I have a quick clip I want to show you from, I think this was it yesterday? Yes, this was from yesterday. I don't know if you've seen this. Oh, hello, Lola. She's just sneaking in under the door to say hi. She stuck her head in.
Hey, Lola.
I don't know if you've seen this or not. This is from the House of Commons. And we'll just give this a watch. And it's 1 minute and 22 seconds. Just watch.
He's announcing a catalog, everybody. Hey, right on. Give him a round of applause. Come on, give him a round of applause. You can't afford a home. You might end up in a tent. Your rent is doubled. But hey, you've got a brand new catalog. Mr. Speaker, the question was, will he build 550,000 new homes, yes or no?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
He mentioned the history lesson. Well, if he was housing minister, he should have known that the way we solved the housing crisis after World War II was by putting forward a catalog of homes that builders could access to build extremely rapidly right across the country. So yes, that's one of the measures we're bringing back. And his mockery of concrete initiatives that are going to deliver for Canadians is exactly what's wrong with his approach. He'd rather mock and insult than actually roll up his sleeves and get solutions built for Canadians.
Order. The Honourable Member from
Just
such a child.
Exactly. Like mockery.
Such a petulant little child. Just, well, good news on that one front, Mr. Grizzly. Just Abacus polling has been doing some data stuff, and recently it showed that in the last month that the gap has closed by 5 points from their previous poll. So it still puts conservatives at plus 16, but that's the best result that they've had since January. And among Canadians 18 to 29, when I said they hinted that things were changing, they had a 23-point lead, and they blew almost all of it in 1 month.
I saw that. Yeah.
There's something going on. The changing of the messaging and them going all in with Israel and stuff like it, it's changing. They're by chasing the nanosecond, they are now starting to have contradictory positions, and they are losing some of the bases that they have started to build. And there's still 15, 16 months to go. I told you time was not his friend.
Well, and so we just saw his little antics about he's giving you a catalog. Was it not one of those post-war catalog homes that he mocked and called a shack? Why, yes. Yes, it was.
Yes. I probably live in one.
Yeah. Yeah, yours is post-war, isn't it?
Yeah, mine is a strawberry box. Maybe it was in a catalog. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Right? There were certain designs that they had that were done, built very rapidly, built very well, but built very affordably in time to get people into homes as quickly as possible. So, yeah, it's... Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Grizzly, do we have a show?
We do indeed, sir.
All right, kids and cubs, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. We hope that you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Sharing is caring. Word of mouth is priceless. So tell your peeps and poops all about us. And if you don't want to miss an episode, you don't have to, thanks to the Ray Girl who sponsors our pod page. That's podpage.com/The True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words. And I'm sure Mr. Grizzly will make the QR code appear at one point. And if you go there and click subscribe, when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, it will come directly to you. As well, make like Kit Lane and go to the True North Eager Beaver YouTube page and click all our buttons, like, share, subscribe, lick them, click them. Yay, we love it when you flick them. And yes, help us to get to 1,000 before Canada Day. That's our goal. So thank you so much for everybody who is doing that. And if you want to, you can leave us a comment there too if you like the show. Or, for example, if you'd like to help us in other ways, the QR code that's by Mr. Grizzly's head, that brings you to our coffee page where you can find our tip jar if you like what we do and you think it has some value and you happen to have a couple of coins jingling in your pocket that are just weighing you down. Well, we like to help. So if you just go on over there, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver and drop a few coins in there. Let us know that you like what we do and you want to encourage us to do more. We're always very grateful for all the support, but the support we cherish most is the gift of your attention and your interactions in the chat and sending stuff to us. So we'd like to hear from you. TrueNorthEagerBeaver@gmail.com is our email address. You can find us at True Eager on Twitter or our Facebook page, True North Eager Beaver. We try to read everything. So thank you very much for all those who send in some comments. We really appreciate that you do, or send us ideas and suggestions for stories. That too is very good because democracy is something that you do. If you live in Alberta, please get involved in the NDP leadership race. If you live in British Columbia, if you live in New Brunswick, or if you live in Saskatchewan, why not look into what you can do to help with the upcoming provincial elections? All right. From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying it's a tough world out there, so please be kind to and gentle with yourselves. Mr. Grizzly, some words of wisdom, please.
It is a tough world out there. There's no questioning that. And I know that we're, as I've said in the past, inundated with bad news daily about bad things happening to people who are completely, for the most part, innocent in what is taking place. So try and show a little extra bit of kindness towards a stranger today if you could, because we could all use a little bit of extra kindness. And that's about all I've got to say today.
I like that very much. Mr. Grizzly, please, cue the cock. You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters, CanadianTarot.com, their uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community, and the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. We are grateful to the Crier Media Network for its support, Pete Jarvis for our artwork, and Paul Joseph Something for our opening and closing sequence music. All right, Kids and Cubs, you have a wonderful day. I'm going to watch some tennis right now because Denis Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime are both on the courts at the same time, and their matches are tied 1 set apiece.
Cool.
All right.
I'm going to go earn a living. I'll see you later.